an overall fitness enthusiast. I'm also a project manager, which means that I plan everything in my life. I have another title too, and that's a breast cancer survivor. In 2009, I was married for several years, and my husband and I were trying to decide if we wanted to have kids. And I have to say, I was really stuck in my life. I didn't really feel fulfilled. I wasn't feeling joy. So I decided, since I'm a fitness enthusiast, that I would start running. And I ran my first marathon in October of 2009. It made me feel so wonderful that as I finished, I decided to sign up for a half marathon in a month later. And that's when I decided that 2010 was going to be my year. I decided that I was going to be unstuck. So, to help me do that, since fitness and running and everything made me feel so great, I was going to do a marathon, a half marathon, a century bike ride, maybe even a triathlon. I was going to do whatever it took so that I could just say at the end of 2010 I had accomplished what I wanted to. I ran a half marathon in January. I ran another half marathon in February. And that half marathon happened to be in Jacksonville, Florida, and it's called the 26.2 Run with Donna. At that half marathon, I met a wonderful couple, an older couple who was from Alabama. And I noticed that the woman was wearing a survivor shirt. I decided to ask her, how'd you do it? How'd you get through all that? I have breast cancer in my family, no one talks about it, and to be honest, no one had really survived it. So what she told me was she ran every day, through treatment, through everything. And I thought to myself, if I ever have to go through that, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run. So, at the starting line, as I'm sitting there, most people have lots of things running through your mind. I was thinking, had I trained enough? Were my shoes tied? Do I have to go to the bathroom again? But another thing crossed my mind was the growing lump in my left breast. I thought, man, I really got to get that checked out. So I waited a few more months, and I finally found a doctor that wanted to listen to me because I was young, too young for mammograms, too young for cancer, so I thought. But on June 4th, the nurse on the other end of the phone told me anything but that I was too young. She told me that I had cancer. And like I said at the beginning, I planned everything in my life. And I hadn't yet planned for the cancer part. But I just decided it wasn't going to stop me. Cancer couldn't have me. So my husband and I, we were part of a bike group, and we were riding every Tuesday and Thursday nights. Well, one Thursday night, as we were getting ready to ride, I noticed that there was this big pink group in the parking lot. And I'm like, oh, I've never felt so slapped in the face with the pinkness. So I decided to go up to these people and ask them if they were doing anything for breast cancer. Turns out they were doing a training walk. So I signed their little board, and I told them that in 4 days I was having a double mastectomy. And I have to say, I've never been scareder in my life. I was just almost paralyzed with fear. Well, I did feel their prayers and their support, even though I didn't know any of them. 2 weeks after my surgery, I actually was recovering quite well, and I called one of them up and asked her if I could join their team. And so in September, I walked all 60 miles between my third and fourth chemo treatment. towards the end, I decided that, sorry, by the end of the year, I actually accomplished my goal. I finished, I think, 7 half marathons, 1 full marathon, 2 major bike rides, and I walked 60 miles. I told cancer that it wasn't going to have me. I'm so thankful for the Hello Cupcake team. That's the training group that I met in the park that day. I'm so happy for my running group who supported me, and the Young Survivor Coalition. There's a few of you out there. Thank you. I couldn't have gotten through it without those people in my life. But anyways, at the end of 2010, I completed my goal, and I became unstuck. I do not recommend going that route. There's other ways. But I became a survivor. I tell my story today not because I want people to look at me. I just think back to that woman that I met at that half marathon. And if she hadn't told me that she ran, I don't know that I would have. I can't say what I would have done, but I don't think I would have run. I might have just sat down and let it take me. But because of her, because she shared me her story, she motivated me and she inspired me. So I just want to inspire other people to stay healthy, eat right, and exercise. And my name is Rebecca, and I deserve a lifetime. Yeah.
That's what we want. Her story is so inspirational. She became unstuck, and she ran. She ran for her life, and